Welcome to Math at Art, the channel that will help you learn math and appreciate art. In this video, you're gonna learn how to make your calculation quicker and easier in different cases in algebra referred to as special products. You will encounter this very often, that's why it is important to know these shortcuts. So enjoy learning, and afterwards I will show you a copy painting as an art. First, we have special products of binomials. But before we proceed in the two cases of multiplying binomials, let's have first a very quick review of binomials. If we say binomials, it is a polynomial with two terms, usually joined by a plus or minus sign. Let's say, for example, we have a plus b. So we have two terms with a plus sign. Take note that we can use any letters in the alphabet to represent a term. And if you want numbers, you can also do it. Just like, for example, we have x minus 3 or 2x plus 5. So notice that you have two terms connected by a plus or a minus sign. Now let's take a look at the first case, which is the product of the sum and difference of two binomials. We have this formula: the quantity a plus b times the quantity a minus b is equal to a squared minus b squared. The sum and difference pattern means that you have a binomial that is added and a binomial that is subtracted. And notice that the terms a and b in the first binomial is the same as a and b in the second binomial. And the only difference is that the first binomial is connected or joined by a plus sign, this one, and the second binomial is connected by a minus sign. Of course, we can solve this using FOIL method or the distributive property to get this answer if you're familiar with it. Let me show you that quickly. So we have the quantity a plus b times the quantity a minus b. So we will be using the FOIL method. So we have f means first, so we have first term multiplied to the first term, that is a squared. Then we have outer term and the outer term, so a times negative b, that is negative ab. Then we have inner and inner, so we have b times a. But in this case, we should write the letters in order from the alphabet to easily combine the terms. So we will have plus a b. Then we have the last term, we have b multiplied to negative b, that is negative b squared. Then of course we can cancel these terms, the negative ab and the positive ab. Since in algebra, if you have the same term but different sign, you can cancel them out. So we have a squared minus b squared. We have the same answer with the given formula. So if you recognize this pattern, a plus b times the quantity a minus b, all you have to do is to multiply the first terms, a times a is equal to a squared, and multiply the last terms, b times negative b is equal to negative b squared. And you will always arrive in this answer, a squared minus b squared. I will give you an example. So we have three examples, but let us proceed to the first example. Then first of all, check if the given is in the form a plus b times a minus b. And the first term is the same, so we have x and x. And the second term is also the same, so we have 7 and 7. So the only difference is the plus and the minus sign. So what are we going to do is to just multiply the first terms, x times x, that is x squared. Then we have 7 times negative 7 for the second term. We have negative 49. Okay, let's have number 2. We have the quantity 2x plus 1 times the quantity 2x minus 1. So let us multiply the first term. So we have 2x times 2x. That will give us 4x squared. And let us get the second term. So we have positive 1 times negative 1, that is negative 1. How about the example number 3? So as you observe, the position of the binomials, the first binomial is subtracted and the second binomial is being added. So this quantity is also the same with this one, a plus b times a minus b. So let's have the first term, m times m, that will give us m squared. Then we have negative 2n times positive 2n, that is negative 4n squared. Now let's go to the second type or case of special products, which is the square of a binomial. So we have the quantity raised to a second power. We have these formulas. The quantity a plus b squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Then we have the quantity a minus b squared is equal to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. And of course, we can do the FOIL method. Suppose we have a plus b squared, or the quantity a plus b squared. By using the FOIL method, we will have this quantity means a plus b times a plus b, since we are raising to a second power. So by using FOIL method, we have first term times first term. It will give us a squared. Then we have a times b will give us ab. Then we have inner multiplied to inner, that is plus ab. And then we have the last term. So we have b times b will give us b squared. So combining like terms, we have a squared plus 2ab, since ab plus ab is 2ab. Then we have b squared. So let us try to solve for this one if we will get the same answer as this one using FOIL method. So let us have a minus b times the quantity a minus b. So let us multiply the first terms. We have the a times a is equal to a squared. Then we have outer times the outer. So we have a times negative b. It will give us negative AB. Then inner, negative B times A is equal to negative AB. Then we have negative B times negative B, that is positive B square. So combining like terms, we have A square minus 2AB plus B square. So if you notice, if the binomial is connected by a plus sign, the sign here is positive or plus. Okay, like this one. But if the binomial is connected by a minus sign, the sign in the second term is negative or minus sign. To fully understand the second case, which is the square of a binomial, let's have these examples. So we have the first example. We will square the quantity 2x plus 3. So we have these shortcuts. First, we have to square the first term, 2x. So if we square 2x, that will give us 4x squared. Then we have number 2, twice the product of the first and the second term. So we will multiply 2x times 3, that is 6x, then twice the product, so that is 6x times 2 will give us 12x, so positive 12x. Then third, square the last term. So what is the square of the last term? 3 squared will give us positive 9. Therefore, we have 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Let's now move on with our second example. We have the quantity 3m minus 2n squared. So we have our first step. We need to square the first term. 3m squared, that will give us 3m times 3m, that is 9m squared. Then our second step, twice the product of the first and the second term. So let us multiply the first term with our second term, that is 3m times negative 2n will give us negative 6mn times 2. We have negative 12mn. Then we have the last step, square the last term, negative 2n squared. We will have negative 2n times negative 2n, that is positive 4n squared. Let's now proceed to the third one. We have the cube of a binomial. So we have the given formula. The quantity a plus b cubed is equal to a cubed plus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus b cubed. Again, we have two terms, which is a binomial. But this time, we need to cube the given quantity. So that is a plus b times a plus b times a plus b. Of course, we can do the distributive property, but we have here the shortcut to get this answer. Let's have a concrete example on how to solve cube of a binomial. So first example, we have x plus 3 cubed. We have the first step, cube the first term, so that is x times x times x is equal to x cubed. Second step, square the first term times the second term times 3. Square the first term, so we have x squared times the second term. Our second term is 3 and times 3. So we need to multiply it by 3. Therefore, we have x squared times 3 times 3. It will give us 9x square. We have our third step, that is square the second term times the first term times 3. So our second term is 3. We need to square that. That is 3 squared times the first term. Our first term is x. So times x times 3. So that is times 3. We have 3 squared, that is 9. Times x, we have 9x. Times 3, we have 27x. So we have the fourth step, cube the last term. So our last term is 3. It is equal to 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Therefore, we will have x cubed plus 9x squared plus 27x plus 27. So x plus 3 cubed is equal to x cubed plus 9x squared plus 27x plus 27. How about if we will going to cube a binomial that is being subtracted? For example, we have the quantity a minus b cubed. So we have our first step, cube the first term. So we have to cube the first term, that is a cubed. Then square the first term. For the second step, a squared times the second term. So we have negative b for the second term. So a squared times negative b times 3. Since this is negative, we will have here negative 3a squared b. Then square the second term. Negative b squared will give us positive b squared times the first term times 3. That is positive 3ab squared. Then cube the last term. Negative b cubed will give us negative b times negative b times negative b. That is negative b cubed. So take a look at the given signs. We have negative here for the second term and negative here for the last term. For our second example, we have 3a minus 2 cubed. So we have the first step, cube the first term. That means we will multiply the first term 3 times. We have 3a times 3a times 3a. It will give us 27a cubed. Second step, square the first term times the second term times 3. So we have 3a squared times negative 2 times 3 is equal to negative 54a squared. For our third step, square the second term. So our second term here is negative 2, therefore we have here negative 2 squared times the first term, that is 3a. So we have here 3a times 3, so we have 3 is equal to 36a. Then we have the fourth step, cube the last term. So our last term is negative 2. We need to multiply it by 3 times. So that is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. It will give us negative 8. Therefore, our answer will be 27a cubed minus negative 54a squared plus 36a minus 8. Now, try to answer this one. Then, let us check later your answer. You may pause the video. So we will have the quantity 2x plus 3y cubed. You may start answering now. Okay, let's check your answer. By doing these steps, you will arrive at this answer. So we have 8x cubed plus 36x squared y plus 64xy squared plus 27y cubed. Observe the exponent of our variable x. We have 3, 2, 1. That is decreasing order. How about in our variable y? We have 1, 2, 3, which is increasing order. Here is the solution. And I'm sorry for the third term. It should be 54x y squared instead of 64x y squared. That's all for our third case, which is the cube of a binomial. For our last case, we have the square of a trinomial. Trinomial is composed of three terms connected by a plus sign or a minus sign. So for example, we have a plus b plus c. And since this case is a square of a trinomial, we will square this quantity. Of course, you can do the distributive property to solve for the answer, but we have here 6 steps to solve it quickly. So let us do the first step. First step is square the first term. So our first term is a squared, that is a squared. The next step is square the second term. Our second term is b, so we need to square that. That is b squared. So plus b squared. Our third step is square the third term. So c squared. It will give us c squared. Fourth step, multiply the first term. So our first term is a, and the second term. So our second term is b. A times b will give us ab. Then we have here times 2. So ab times 2, that is 2ab. Then fifth step, we have multiply the second term and the third term. So b times c times 2. So we will have plus 2bc. For our last step, we have multiply the first term and the third term. So our first term is a times our third term, which is c. So ac times 2. So we have here plus 2ac. So we have a squared plus b squared plus c squared plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ac. Okay, let's do this example. We will square the quantity 2x plus y plus 3z. So first step, square the first term. That is 2x times 2x. That is 4x squared. Second step, square the second term. So we have y. So y raised to 2 or y squared, that is y squared. Then our third step, square the third term. So our third term is 3z. 3z times 3z, that is 9z squared. Fourth step, multiply the first term and the second term. So 2x times y, that is 2xy times 2. So 2xy times 2, that is 4xy. Let's proceed to our fifth step. We have to multiply the second term and the third term times 2. Multiply the second term, our second term is y, times 3z, that is 3yz times 2. So we have here 6yz. And for our last term, for the sixth step, we have to multiply the first term and the third term times 2. So our first term is 2x times 3z, that is 6xz times 2. So we have here 12xz. So we have our answer 4x squared plus y squared plus 9z squared plus 4xy plus 6yz plus 12xz. For our next example, we will do it step by step so that you will understand it more. So our trinomial is 2x plus y minus 3z. So let's square this expression. So first step, square the first term. So our first term is 2x. So we have our first step. That is 2x times 2x. So 2 times 2 is 4, and x times x is x squared. That is 4x squared. For our second step, square the second term. So our second term is y. So we have y times y. That is y squared. For our third step, we have squared the third term. So our third term is negative 3z. Negative 3z times negative 3z. So negative 3 times negative 3, that is positive 9. And negative c times negative c, that is positive z squared. For our fourth step, multiply the first term. So our first term is 2x times the second term. So we have y times 2. So 2x times y is 2xy times 2, that is 4xy. For our fifth step, multiply the second term. So we have our second term y times the third term. So negative 3z times 2. So that is y times negative 3z, that is negative 3yz times 2. So we have negative 6yz. So for our last step, multiply the first term, 2x, times the third term, negative 3z, times 2. And that is 2x times negative 3z is negative 6xz times 2. That is negative 12xz. So we have our answer, that is 4x squared plus y squared plus 9z squared plus 4xy minus 6yz minus 12xz. And that's all for our discussion. Let us make a copy painting out of these papers and guess who is that character.